I love sharing stories, and I personally just love sharing my journey and sharing my journey of how I went through depression and how I came out of it the other side being stronger and better than ever. I think that there's just so much power to be had in sharing our stories and just seeing other people that have been through hardships, because I know that when I was experiencing depression, I just wanted someone who was on the other side to tell me that they have been through it and that there is a way out, and they came out of it the other side just stronger and better than ever. And that's what this video is about. This video is a beacon of hope and inspiration for any of you who feel like you're just stuck in this place of just darkness, stuck in this place where your challenging thoughts and emotions feel so powerful and you don't know how to get out, and you just wonder, is there even a way out, and will I actually get out of this? You will. Let this video be this reminder for you that you will get out of it, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how difficult and how hard things feel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dr. Bisleen Atley. I teach you how to optimize your brain so that you can become a high performer. This video today is all about me just sharing my story and journey with you, and just sharing how I went from being stuck in depression to ultimately becoming a high performer and just unleashing my full potential and greatness into the world. This was not a journey that happened overnight at all. And this was a journey that started when I was my wee little old middle school self. So I was not born here in Canada. My parents came here from India. I came here when I was 5 years old. I mean, I might as well have grown up here. Like, I say I'm born in India, but really I pretty much might as well have been born here, because we came here when I was 5 years old. So very much come from the family of immigrants. Not very much, I do come from a family of immigrants. And, you know, growing up, I watched my parents work really, really hard to make ends meet. And I also watched my dad just like go out and crush it with his business and build the life of his dream, which was really cool to watch over the years. But in the beginning, it was difficult. And I mean, like every immigrant family, everybody had their struggles. And I'm sure every child of an immigrant parents experienced and witnessed that struggle. And I mean, grateful for that, grateful for my parents. They really taught me the importance of hard work and how amazing you can make your life if you persevere through the struggles that come your way. So just to give you a bit of a kind of a background on my family, when I was in middle school, that's kind of when my mental health started to go downwards. I was bullied when I was in middle school. I was made fun of quite a bit. I looked, you know, different than a lot of the kids at my school. My school was primarily full of Caucasian students. I was brown. My parents were pretty strict when I was growing up, so I didn't really like shave. I remember going to middle school wearing like shorts, and I had like hairy legs. And I remember feeling very self-conscious, but I was also like, it's hot. And then kind of in grade 7, I think this was around grade 7, I started to get a lot of acne. We love it when puberty hits us hard. Lots of acne, not just on my face, but all over my body. And that's when I started to feel really self-conscious. So I would wear like long sleeves all the time. I would never want to change in front of the girls' change room, in the girl change room in front of everybody. Just became very, very self-conscious of myself. And so I remember, honestly, in middle school, I used to cry by myself every single day back home on the bus. And I used to cry because I was one of the first kids picked up, and I was one of the last kids dropped off, and I would cry. As soon as everybody's off the bus, I would like cry. Not like bawling my eyes crying, just like slow crying, but I would just cry because I was just really, really sad because of the bullying and how it affected me. And I really started to develop a very negative image of myself and who I was. And I just felt disgusted to be me. I remember when I did therapy years afterwards, and when I looked back at that time, that's exactly how I felt about myself, like just disgusted to be myself. I felt gross in my own skin. And so that was middle school, and then I decided that I was going to go to a very different high school because I wanted to just completely reinvent myself, my image of myself. And I spent that summer from grade 8 to grade 9 like YouTubing how to do makeup, all this stuff, and Googling style and doing my hair, because I was so invested in creating a new image for myself. And then when I went to high school, I did everything in my power to make sure I, would be popular. I would be a great student. I would be an athlete. And I just got involved in everything at school, tried to be friends with everybody, and completely just take the pain that I was feeling and project it to kind of being this like achiever in school. And it worked well for about 2 years, except when in grade 11, I got into a really toxic relationship. And I hadn't worked through any of the feelings that I had experienced at that point. And so when I got into this toxic relationship, I just became completely self-destructive. I would like run away from home and do all of these things that were so out of character of me. I quit all my sports teams, and I started to do poorly in school, somehow kind of scraped by. I made it to Waterloo University. And that's where things just got worse and worse for me. And there was a point in second year university where things just got so bad with my depression that I actually ended up in the hospital as a result of it. I remember in high school, I went and told my family doctor about what I was feeling like once, and within 5 minutes, he like diagnosed with depression, and he was like, take these happy pills and I'll see you in like a month. And I was like, nope, not gonna do that. And at that point, my parents were just like, find a way to get through it and get over it. And you're going to go to university and things will be better. But when you're actually struggling with an illness, a change in environment doesn't make things better. So when I ended up in the hospital in my second year of university, things just got so bad for me. And I think that was when I really had my wake up call. To this day, I remember like lying on the bed, and I was just like, damn, like this is where my life has gotten to. And I was like, I need things to change. Because I had that voice inside me that told me, I was capable of great things, that I had all these big goals and dreams. I mean, a part of me wanted to make my parents proud, right? Like, I feel like every immigrant child has that dream of like, paying, not just even just paying back your parents, but showing your parents like you put in all this hard work, you left your whole life to start a whole new life. And I want to show you that all the sacrifices you made, it were worth it. Because for immigrant parents, it's like they see that through their kids, right? Especially immigrant brown parents, they live through their kids. Oh, I feel like I'm going to get emotional saying this. But, right? So I had all, that little voice inside me that told me I could do better, be better. But my brain I was just struggling, and I was struggling hard. And so I decided to take some matters into my own hands. So I got connected with some resources in my university. I started going to therapy. I was even on antidepressant medications for a little bit, which, I mean, they did help. I was on them for about 10 months. And then at the same time, I was just putting in so much research into what the foods I should eat, how I should move my body, how I should sleep, and just doing more research on these mindset strategies and doing as much work on myself as possible, reading as much material as I possibly could get my hands on. And I was experimenting so much. I was doing like spoken word poetry. I was like knitting, I was painting, and just finding all these outlets and ways to express myself. And I truly think that really helped me kind of get through the struggles that I was experiencing and having. And then it's through this experimentation that when I learned how to give my brain the right foods, when I learned how to support my sleep, when I learned my unique beliefs, limiting beliefs that I had developed, my beliefs about success, my beliefs about the world around me and how dysfunctional they were. Because when we're really, stuck in depression or an illness, like you have some pretty dysfunctional beliefs about the world. And it's so important to address and look at those. And I finally opened my eyes up to how I saw the world. And I was like, I don't want to see the world in this way anymore. And I want to see the world in a different way. And in a way that excites me to wake up, in a way that excites me to like actually achieve and go get stuff done, and to really support that voice inside me that tells me I am full of greatness. And when I started to implement all of these things in a holistic way, I started to feel better and better. And when I started to feel good, and you know what, the research does say that when you feel good, you take more action. I started to take more action. I started to take action on the life that I wanted to live for myself. I started to take action on my goals. And I started to see that my brain wasn't the issue. My brain wasn't broken. I just didn't know how to support my unique brain. And This is how you go from struggling to being a high performer. This is how you go from struggling and being in a crappy place and not in a good place with your life to building the life of your dreams. It's by learning how to support your unique brain. Now, I experimented for years and years to figure that stuff out. And what's great though is that you don't have to struggle in that same way. One of the most important things that you can start doing if you want to go from struggling to being a high performer is to really understand what type of high performer you are. I am an achiever to the core. Lots of entrepreneurs are achievers, but there's essentially 7 different types of high performers. You can be the visionary, you can be the leader, the achiever, the supporter, the connector, the analyst, and perfectionist. And each one of these unique high performer types has unique strengths, unique weaknesses, has unique foods, ways to move their body, ways to take breaks, the best things to do before bed, that these unique high performer types need to do to support their brain health and to show up as their best self the next day. And the most powerful thing that you can do is to unlock what your unique high performer type is, so that you can start supporting your brain health. Because again, there is nothing wrong with your brain. You are not broken. You are not any less capable than anybody else that you know. The only issue is that no one's ever actually taught you how to support your unique brain, how to uncover your limiting beliefs, how to provide your brain with the unique foods that it needs so that you can show up and unleash your greatness into the world. So take that quiz in my bio below and find out what type of high performer you are and start learning the unique little nuances of your brain so that you can really show up for yourself in a powerful, powerful way. So this is kind of my journey. I know what it feels like to be in that place where you're struggling, you're at rock bottom, and it feels like there is no hope. But the truth is that there is. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself, because I never gave up on myself. And I knew that I was going to find a way out of this, and you can. I stand in front of you as an example of what is possible when you choose to support your brain health, when you choose to understand the type of unique high performer you are. Because once you do that, nothing stops you from living the life that you want to live.